Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday, which means that today's map has been voted in by the BonBon buddies over on Patreon. And if you'd like to get involved in that weekly vote, head on over to patreon.com/BonBonB and join the elite crew. Well, what can I tell you about today's map? Well, it has been on my long list for about a year. It's one of those maps that jumped off the workshop page, and I thought, you know, I will review that one day. Well, today's the day. It's taken a long time. Is it a good map? I've seen worse. I can envisage a very large airport on this map. Lots of buildable locations and, all told, not the worst map you'll ever see. But before we have a look at the map, how about a daily reminder? That's right, hitting that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you for your support. Today's map is Hue de Janeiro by U31R4. What a catchy name that is. I guess U31R3 had been taken already. Let's have a little look at the start square. And there's your start square, a little bit of water at the top, everything is good, and of course the highway running through it. What about the terrain heights? Pretty flat, which is pretty good for the big city builder. Grid city coming. There's your resources, blocky, blotchy, usable, can't groan too much about that. And then off to the workshop, what do we need? Well, no DLC for today's map. Those of you without these DLC be very happy about that. Hue de Janeiro map theme, the photorealistic final LUTs by Reaper, and a little bit of a read up if you like this sort of thing. They're Brazilian, so always good to see somebody from a different part of the world, from us gringos, as we are referred to in the description. Oh goody, I've always wanted to be a gringo. Let's have a little look at the entry. We've got one highway and one rail line entering the map right there. Now that looks absolutely perfect for the shipping to come through. We could have one coming through on that route, one on that route, except for unfortunately, and I won't show you, but the shipping routes will basically crash through the pillars there. But the bridge is high enough, which is something. Now, if I was a driver, I would be moaning about this little loop around. If I was going in on that line there, I mean, all the extra fuel for no reason, I would be moaning. Aesthetically, it does add a bit of interest to the map, and the map could do with a little bit of interest here and there. We've also got why? Okay, never mind. Sound barriers aren't required on this side of the road, apparently. Nice, gentle, slowly elevated ramp up to the bridge, which is nice to see. Same goes on with the rail. I've got a slight problem with the rail. You may notice if we zoom in down here, we've got a little bit of blue mantle going on underneath that one. Very easily fixed, of course, but I thought I'd point it out. Over the lake and back down to ground. It looks a bit wet down here. Maybe it's been raining, I don't know. Anyway, we'll head down towards the start square intersection, which is it's pretty solid. I like the look of this one, definitely usable, I think. And a little bit of a spin to get us all dizzy, to have a look at the start square as it should be played. And then we'll have a little look at this little baby. Now, this is just too good. I'm sorry, this is just too good. The Reichstag even, building by Armesto. This is the home of the German Parliament, and a very historic building as well. Little nods to certain other creators, the original creator that Armesto built the building from. I've lost my note for that one. And also Ami Polizei who made the dome. Anyway, I've got two factoids today, two of them, as we've got a little bit more time because this building's too good to rush. Factoid, because factoid number one. Samuel Johnson, the man who wrote the first important English dictionary, died today, the 13th of December, in 1784. Though he suffered from a severe skin disease for most of his life, he was a prolific writer and a great wit. Not like me at all then. He once said to his biographer, "Boswell, it matters not how a man dies, but how he lives." Samuel Johnson, who died today in 1784. Somebody else who was born on today's date, factoid number 2, was BonBonMum. And BonBonMum, if you're watching this, happy birthday, Mum. There may be a card on its way. There may not be a card on its way. It depends how organised I was. Anyway, there we go. The Reichstag building by Armesto. Very, very beautiful asset. Probably one of the best on the workshop. I would say that. I am Hue de Janeiro impressed. Forget that. That didn't work as well as I hoped it would do. We have a diamond about here. Not quite as round as a roundabout. Definitely works though. An interesting shape. Again, good to see some interesting shape. Something just a little bit different. A potential start location down here. No moan about that at all. And then we'll head into the map this way. There is an alternate route. Oh, this is the intersection. We'll start a little village down here called Penistone, I think. Penistone, just on the tip of that. Never mind. As we move on to the end, and we get a loop back, which is quite nice. Let's have a little look down this route. Now, this route's a little bit different. I'm not going to say it's any more fun, but it's a little bit different. We do get a little bit of a tunnel through the hill, and I like the do like the tree work on today's map. I won't say it often enough. We got sound barriers there, and no sound barriers. I don't know. Some interesting choices. And again, with the looping of the roads taking us away, and if I was on this route, I would be driving a lot further than on the other route, and I would be a little bit miffed because of the cost of fuel, of electricity, if you're driving one of those new electric car things that they seem to be selling to people with more money than I have. Where were we? Yes, rail. Let's have a look at the rail line. Rail line, quite happy with that. Again, the rail pillars there will be get crashed into by... oh, and this is interesting. This is... interesting. I don't know why the lines split there, but we have the two one-way lines. It's just curious. There are some curious design decisions on this map. Very curious design decisions. And we pass the blue mantle, which is right there, and then onwards across this way. Now I'm going to have my biggest problem with the rail, of course, is these bridges where it's got to be road over rail. You can't have the rail elevate like that. Trams could probably manage that. The trains just couldn't. They just really couldn't. So anyway, we'll jump this way and we'll head right. We'll head down this way, see where it takes us. A little bit of elevation here up the side of the hill and back down the other side. Bring us to our destination and a little bit of a chat with Zack.
Fed up with vanilla or ploppable parking lots in your city? Wondering what Bonnie Day's Parking Lots Roads is all about? Then you need BonBonB's Parking Lots tutorial. Click the information button below.
And so back to Hue de Janeiro by U31R4. Right angle turning there at the edge of the map, kind of in the fog, so almost forgivable. And we've got some nice dead ends going on there. We could do a bit of a corner cut there, I guess. And then if we go around, following again the edge of the fog, so not too much of a problem with that. And then we arc right back into the fog again. And then if we come this way, we've got, doesn't look like that's connected up at all. And then that looks okay to me. And then we have all sorts, another one that doesn't look like it's connected. Then we have all sorts of shipping lines in this corner. I mean, just loads of shipping lines. I mean, how many shipping lines do you want? All of the shipping lines is the answer. And then down here, a crisscross, that's perfectly fine. Little right angle turns going on there. That looks okay. This looks okay, sort of. This doesn't look okay. This looks like it's going cross country, which is not a good thing for ships to do. Let me just see whether or not that, yeah, if you're going to build a port in that little dock there, then you're going to have some problems. Your ships might not reach it. We do have water flow though, and the water flow is moving through the start square, not brilliantly, but it's working fine. And we even have a little lake there which has its own spawn point, so you can actually even dip your sewage into there and it will actually suck it away. Wouldn't be a huge problem. Yesterday we had a whole start square covered in pipes. Today we've got this. I think that's an oops moment to me. Okay, let's have a little look at the map as a whole. Again, we've got a lot of build plane on this one. Big city build here. Some of you will really be relishing something like this one. It's not to my taste personally, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be good. We've got a lot of different biomes going on with like a huge sandy desert area. We've got beach areas. We've got dock areas. We've got some hilly, rocky, rough areas as well, which is quite nice. We even got this elevated lake, which is begging for a dam at each end, which is possible to do with a little bit of trickery-pokery in the map editor. But of course, you and I could do this one quite happily and just get a bit of power out of that elevated lake. Nice to see. One or too many spawn points in the lake, but that's fine. It does the job. Let's not moan too much about that. I like the tree work on this map. I mentioned it earlier. Even though it's vanilla trees, it looks quite effective, and they really do work with the sand down here. I've got just all the undulations going on there. And then down here, I quite like this ridge. This indicates where the beach would end and the grass would begin. But we have sand up on the grass. I'd like to see that just edged to the edge of there, so we have a little bit of proper defined beach. And then over here, lots of sandy areas, elevated sandy areas. But we've got the digitized work as well, which just needs running over with the smoothing tool. And we've also got a bit of underwater work there with the terrain paintbrush as well, which could be smoothed out. And then there's a lot of areas around here which have this digitized area that could just be cleaned up with the smoothing tool. Down here again, a little bit more. And even some of the hill areas here. I don't mind the fact that it looks a bit rough, but it just looks digitized in places. Got quite a few drowned trees as well. Save the trees, everybody. Save the trees. We need the trees. And there we go. Yes, there's plenty going on with this map. But what do you think about it? You've heard what I've had to say. What do you think? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. What do I think? I might be in there. Lower reaches, I think. Maybe 10th. Maybe 11th. Who knows? Anyway, what do I think aesthetically? Aesthetically, I think it looks okay. There are some areas which are quite nice. A lot of it is very ordinary, and there are some areas that need cleaning up. Right down the middle, I think, with a 3 stars for aesthetics. Detailing. There are a few problems. I haven't shown you the shipping where it's going to go crashing through the pillars, and you've obviously seen the roughness of the digitization. I think, all told, it just suffers a bit too much to get a 3rd star. Do like the tree work though, but I'm going 2 stars for detail. Gameplay potential. I could have gone to 4 stars possibly for this one, but the ships having to go cross country to get into one of the defined docks in the start square is probably too much, really. I'm going to go low 3. The map does work, but you might have to worry about your shipping. Hue de Janeiro U31R4, the creator of... It's good to see. Very, very good to see. And sorry it's taken about a year to get around to reviewing it. Well, thank you very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me for another map in the What Map series. Guess what? Another one tomorrow. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, no, there isn't. It's pantomime season here in the UK. Anyway, thank you, everybody on the Patreon list, for your support for the last month. And it's never too late to join them and get your name on the January list if you're interested in being part of the BonBon Buddies. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. I've been BonBonB. You've been very, very welcome.